Hello again, Rocky Ridge Art Friends. This week I really wanted to take some time to talk about the impact everybody's having as staying at home and what impact the coronavirus has had on you and your family. And I want to use art to express how we feel about that. Art is a great way to let out your emotions or express how you feel about things. In fact, on our Artsonia page, I'll be giving you a link to a project they're doing called Drawing Together. Students react to coronavirus, and you'll see that. And what it is, it says right here that they're having students create art in response to this. Here's some things you can do. A positive message of hope and optimism. The first thing you want to do when this is all over, your vacation spot in your mind, how to stay connected while apart, or a thank you to doctors and nurses, or even to your parents or teachers or anybody who's made this a little bit better for you. For example, for me, the one big way it's impacted me is that I have a daughter who works in healthcare, and her job has changed drastically. She was caring for people who were doing physical therapy, and now she's turned into a nurse's assistant for those who are suffering with coronavirus. And that's really impacted her life and our lives as well. In fact, we haven't even been able to see each other throughout this whole time. I don't think I've seen her in over a month. And it's really caused a lot of hardships, right? That's a lot to deal with when you're caring for people who are struggling in that way. So I decided to make a piece of art in response to that. And what gave me my idea is I was thinking about how at a time like this, you could think of the coronavirus as something really negative. In fact, that's your initial thought. But then I was thinking about how sometimes something positive comes out of something negative. For some people, depending on your perspective, hopefully you're the kind of person who can take a bad situation and try and find the good in it. And so for me, one of the good things has been staying at home and slowing down and really spending time with those who I live with and taking more time for art. So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how ugly the coronavirus is and how they keep showing those images of what the coronavirus looks like on the news and everything like that. And so I thought, why not turn that into something beautiful? Okay. And then I had remembered that I had gotten a photograph text from my daughter. One of the first nights she was required to wear the personal protective equipment, and she was really miserable because it's really hot and it's hard to breathe, and she was getting sores from wearing the mask. And she had taken a self-portrait and texted that to me. And the photo just really has a lot of emotion, and there's like a lot of story behind it. So I decided to take that photograph, recreate it using watercolor. And first I sketched it out, which I'll be showing you. And then I decided to use watercolor and take the coronavirus pictures and turn them into sunflowers, because sunflowers symbolize life and regrowth. In fact, sunflowers are one of the most resilient flowers. They take toxins out of the earth, actually. And so you could think of the coronavirus as being one of those toxins. And it's really turning it into something beautiful. So anything that's negative, you really can use that to turn it into a positive. It's really just a matter of how you look at it. So here's what the finished piece actually looks like. And you can see I took my pencil drawing and I watercolored on top of it. And then I added these coronavirus sunflowers. And I added a heart because that symbolizes the heart that you have when you're caring for others. So when we're talking about making art in response to a negative situation, you can make art that represents how you feel about the situation or something that represents something that makes you feel better. But also you can simply just doodle. Doodling is just when you draw or color without really thinking. You really have no plan. You just go for it. And that's a simple way to relieve the stress and anxiety that comes along with the uncertainty of not knowing what's going on, or the restlessness of not being able to do what you want to do. Again, you don't need a plan when you doodle. You just kind of drift off and think and make different patterns and designs based on how you feel, whatever makes you feel relaxed. Maybe it is a drawing, but it's usually going to be just shapes and designs and patterns. Maybe a repeating pattern might be a doodle, or you could make little characters. Really don't think about it too much. Just find a way to make your pen or pencil or crayon just move and keep you occupied. So here's some examples of some doodling I did just with watercolor. You know, sometimes you're just trying out new materials. Sometimes you're just trying to not think about anything. Or maybe you're trying to figure out how to draw something. Lots of different colors and brush strokes. I actually find it really relaxing to just make brush strokes. This maybe experiment with just filling a whole page with color if you can. And then I was experimenting with making some feathers. I find that very relaxing too, which you could also do that with a pen. Some more feathers. So for doodling, I also will be giving you a link to my good friend, Miss Art, who is the art teacher at Elk Plain Elementary, also in the Bethel School District. She also has a YouTube page, and she has a video that she talks all about doodling, so you're welcome to watch that. And if any of you have made a Zentangle drawing before, that's a really great way to doodle. Another really fun thing to do is just make a random scribble. Don't even think about it too much. And then go in and choose different colors and pick maybe 3 different colors and all these shapes that have been made from the doodle. Pick a different color to fill each space, but don't let any of the colors touch that are the same. So for example, here's the 3 colors I chose, and then I colored in all my shapes, and notice how the colors don't touch each other. I mean, they touch on the corners, but the sides don't touch. So that's a fun little challenge. Another idea is you can think about how being at home makes you feel, or maybe you have loved ones that are ill or that you haven't been able to visit. What kind of art could you create to symbolize how you feel about that, or to honor them, or to show them your appreciation? Maybe you could make a portrait of them. You can make a picture of yourself doing art. Make a picture of your safe place, your favorite place. Or even just make a picture that's abstract, that has different colors that make you feel better. Or maybe you want to represent the negative feelings you're having. That's okay too.